Alright, here begins our last flute video for, I believe, this instrument. I think you said switching on Monday. So, going to start off with some long tones, looking for a good full sound, and make sure it stays consistent as I go through different notes, make sure you get the right fingering. So here's some long tones, starting on a D. Do that last again. G to A for me is difficult, mainly because I start playing more the low octave than the high octave, so I'm going to adjust my airspeed. It usually works. Let's see what happens here. Alright, I think that's enough long tones. Now I'm going to do 16 legato quarter notes. Alright, now for 16 quarter notes with space in them. Alright, moving on now, here's number 17, Clair de Lune. A couple things from those I've noticed for that previous chord note exercise, excuse me. It's hard for me, being a brass player, get the articulation right, because usually my tongue's a little heavier than it should anyway on a brass, so once you translate that to a woodwind, it made it pretty difficult. So I had to adjust where I placed my tongue a little bit more toward the top, toward the roof of the mouth, and for the quarter note, it was just by keeping the air steady. The smooth ones, that is. So, alright, without further ado, here is number 17. Alright, number 18, Down by the Station. Alright, moving on to number 21. I'm going to scoot it back a little bit so you can see what my fingers are doing. Didn't realize that when I was doing the camera earlier. There we go, face a little bit that way. There we go. Alright, moving on. Here's number 21. Get it together. New note. It's F natural, so make sure I get that correct. Alright. Alright, notice toward the end, my sound got a little airy, so make sure I keep this set, keep the air steady, because I think I just slowed down the air too much, which caused the diversion in tone. So alright, number 26, Good King, cautious, however you're supposed to say it. Alright, moving on to number 34. This is Farm Out. This features a couple of jumps, so I might have to start this over again, but I'm trying to do this all in one take. So here is number 34. Alright, I'm going to try that one more time. I wasn't super happy with the notes, with the jumps again, so I'm going to slow it down, really focus on the tone I'm putting out, because I think that was a little too airy for my liking. Alright, I feel much better about that. So, going to move on now to number 51. Number 51 is Skip to My Lou. This is pretty much a thirds exercise, so it's really important that I get those thirds to actually be thirds and that they are indeed in tune. Here's Skip to My Lou. Alright, we'll start over, think about the notes. Alright. Alright, that didn't go so well. I'm going to go over the notes mentally real quick as I'm talking. That was just poor execution, fingers getting lazy. So I'm going to try 51 again. Stop. Try it one more time. If it doesn't get better this time, I'm just going to move on for the sake of time. Here's 51. Gonna make sure I get the right fingering for A natural. I keep trying to do not A natural, like A flat. 51 one more time. Move on. That was not very good. Just having issues getting the A natural out, getting back to the E flat. It's just difficult for me. So moving on. Here is number 58. Turn to 68. Let me turn to 58. Erie Canal Capers. This is a set of thirds. Now we've got fifths. So For me, high ranger is a little bit easier. For me on flute, sometimes I have issues with it pitching. I can pitch the low and high at the same time, so I'm going to make sure the airspeed is right and the angle is correct. So here is Erie Canal Capers. Start over. I got lost where G was. Try one more time. And the last number for this video is number 63. Bingo, what's his name? Oh. So this one utilizes some slurs and some jumps, so I'm going to make sure to get those clean, and if not, I'll do a retake of it. Here we go. Here is Bingo. Alright, I'm going to slow it down, go over it one more time. Bingo take 2. So I start losing the tone, it's focus the tone as I go on, so make sure I'm not leaning, keep the angle right, keep the air consistent. Here's Bingo one more time. I'm going to do the last 4 bars. I gotta get that last section. And last time, sorry. I'm so close. Sorry this is such a long video, but going for it and, struggling's part of it. Here we go. Alright, now moving on to the chromatic scale, followed by the tune on your own. Alright, now for the chromatic scale, I'm just going to play A to A. Alright, and now for the tune by ear. It's going to be Ode to Joy. And that's it for the video.